Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Combat Arms. Welcome to Combat Arms in 2024. In this short video today I'd like to talk about the Bastet M4, why it's a big deal, and what the gun is about basically and how it should be used. So this gun has been in the game for a year almost right now, and when I saw it on the forum that it's in the game, I updated my PC, I downloaded Combat Arms, and I got my hands on it as soon as I could. Reason being that the M4 is actually the best gun in the game. The whole game is built around the M4. Because if you look at the original footage of the few weapons that were added in the game as first guns, the M4 is there. It's the first gun, and I bet it's the first gun they designed along with the AK-47. The M4 is actually meant to be an adversary to AK-47. And it's generally the best gun in the game for the reasons that I'm going to list. So first of all, it's balanced. It's very well balanced. And if you remember back in the day, you could actually customize weapons. So playing right now is a clip from 2015 when I was using the M4A1 custom. That was a thing. And if you remember, if you were using the fully custom M4A1 in an S&D room, you would get kicked because the M4 was considered to be overpowered. Now, fast forward, now we got the Bastet M4 that does 48 damage per shot. Absolutely crazy. Now, keep in mind that the custom M4A1 had +1 damage, +1 fire rate, and -1 recoil. Now, compared to the Bastet M4, this is absolutely ridiculous. So, here you can see me using the gun defensively, as I think it's supposed to be used, because think about it. If the game is built around Counter-Strike source and around planting a bomb or defusing the bomb, the M4 was typically used by CTs, by counter-terrorists. So counter-terrorists actually take the B side, and if you look at the original maps, the maps are built for B side to be defensive and A side to be offensive. So by this logic, the M4 should be a defensive weapon. And if you look at it, it actually is. If you use the gun peeked behind cover, if you use it for covering fire, for tip firing, for pre-firing, the gun is actually very, very good. Now, as opposed to AK-47, that's an offensive weapon that prevails if you get up close to somebody. The M4 is the opposite. So while you can run around, gun down people with it, get some unbelievables and crazy kills with it, that is possible, but it's not what the gun was intended to be. And here you can see me just peeking, absolutely beaming people across the map, just tap firing the gun. I never use scopes because I think it ruins the gun. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I've paired it with the PvP bullet damage 3, so that beefs the damage to around 54, I think. And I have some PvP bullet damage 5 and 4s that I'm gonna use over the weekend. So this absolutely breaks the game because that's not what the gun was intended to be. Now it's too strong, it's too beefed up, and I expect it to be nerfed very soon. Just like the Flower and the Flower Pop, the FMG, and its variants. I'm not even sure, I never used that gun. These just recently got nerfed, and that's fine. And I think the M4 will get nerfed as well. It has to be, because it's absolutely ridiculous. Just like the Hades is gonna be, and we're gonna have a new meta. So I think the M4A1 is the meta in the game right now, and you can just see me dominating with it. What I'm actually doing, I'm supporting my own team because I'm suppressing the enemy team on the hill. All they have to do is take this whole side, and they will assert dominance over the whole map. But they're not doing that because I'm there, the M4 is there, and I'm just suppressing them. Even if I'm not hitting them all the time, I'm just doing so much damage. And also, this video is not supposed to be a review of the gun, but rather than showcasing what the gun can do in the hands of a very average player. I'm not a great player, I'm not a good player, I'm very average. I've got a very average KDR, but it's something about the M4 that was intentionally created, about the recoil pattern. You know, if you play CS, you know the recoil pattern is actually a big thing, it's very important. And the M4 does it very well because it's got extremely predictable recoil. That's always the same, and it doesn't go to the side. It's a vertical recoil, not horizontal. Because actually, if you look at it, stats-wise, the Bastet Scar Heavy is the best gun in the game. If you are looking at the statistics, but the recoil on the Scar is horizontal, which is a major difference because it's very hard to correct, and that's what the M4 does really great. It's very predictable. You can tap fire it, you can burst it. It's very useful. Now, it's important to consider that because it's very good in most scenarios, in most situations, it doesn't mean it's gonna be best in any single one. If you take CQB, some close quarter battles, the P90TR Hades is gonna be better. If you take a longer range, yeah, the Flower G36 is gonna be great. But any kind of mid-range engagement, that's where the M4 is gonna prevail because it's simply too good. And the only thing that can compete with the M4 right now, I think, is the Flower G36. There's no doubt about that. If you have a skilled player with the G36, skilled player with the M4, it's gonna be very even. But I still think if you use the bullets on the M4 and bullets on the G36, the M4 is always going to be a little bit better because it's a bit easier to use. You're not slowing down because on the G36 you're going to be scoped in even at mid-range. So yeah. So that is my take on the Bastet M4. Not necessarily a review, but rather my opinion on how it should be used. You can see the M4 in the Elite Pro rooms. That's fine, I use it as well. But just know that the M4 as a concept was intended as a competitive weapon, extremely balanced adversary to the AK-47, and it should be used as such. Thanks for watching, thanks for playing the game. If you still play, I'm looking forward to meeting you in a room. We can discuss, we can have fun, just take it all positive, and yeah, peace.